Hey guys, it's Ruth. I'm getting ready to start some of the projects that I have for Christmas, and you think, well, it's July, but some of the stuff I have to do early. This is one of the shrubs that I have at my house. I have them all over the place actually, and it's a golden globe arborvitae. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's also called a thula or a thuga or something like that. I'll list the name of it, that way you'll know if it grows in your zone. It has a really good smell. One day we were out here pruning and I thought, what is that smells so good? It has kind of a citrusy, camphor, cypress kind of smell. Really, really, really nice. And I have infused it before in vinegar and made room deodorizers and things like that. I mainly am outside because I wanted to show you it's kind of yellowish on the tips and greenish throughout. Let me break a little piece of the wood, kind of woody stems. That way if it grows at your house, you'll know if you have it. We're going to go in the house because I already got a basket full of it. I always try to prep if I can. Oh, I love that smell, and I'll come back in just a second, okay? Hey guys, now we're finally back in the house. I'm just so scattered today. If we can pan down, cameraman. Got my jars. We're going to be doing an Evergreen room spray. I don't know if you've seen where I've done it with the lemons before, where you pack the jar with your lemon peels and then pour the vinegar over it. This is something that I found that I use 10 times more than any store-bought stuff, because I'm not spraying those chemicals if I can help it. I lightly spray my furniture, I spray the rooms, I spray the curtains a lot. This is something I use more so in the fall and winter time. Gives it that real good kind of woodsy, kind of evergreen out in the woods, kind of a cedar-like smell to me. So I've already shown you the bush that it came off. If you live in that zone, or any zone, if you have pine, you can do this with pine needles, or any type of aromatic or fragrant evergreen. Go out and pick some of your evergreen and give it a sniff. This one smells almost like a perfume type thing. If it smelled any better, I'd rub it all over me. But anyway, packed my jar. This one I'm going to have a room deodorizer spray full of the evergreen leaves, and you just fill it all the way up with vinegar. This is real simple. These are things that are great, great gifts. Make sure we don't have any bubbles if possible. And I'll get the bubbles out in a second. Always write the date of when you did it. And look how pretty that is. Somebody receives that. All they have to do is to, when it's done, it's finished, put it in their spray bottle and they're ready to go. We're also going to do one with oil. Actually, we're going to do several with oil. The oil is my favorite. I usually give these as gifts. I pack the jars full of whatever the evergreen or whatever herb that I'm going to pack it with. Pack your jars really well. And another key note, if we'll stay down on the table, make sure if you're going to do any type of things from your outside that it's on a nice warm day so that the plant material is dry and it has no water in it. We're going to pack that in. We're only going to use just plain vegetable oil, because with this evergreen oil, I use this for tables, cabinets, my bedposts, things like that. This is not something that I am using for the skin per se. Fill it, oh, why am I sticking that on there? Fill it up with oil. Give it a good tap because you want to make sure that there are no bubbles in it. And poke it down in there good. But you want to put as much of your green material as you can fit in the jar, because I'm going to let this sit 6 weeks. Sometimes I let it sit 12 weeks. It just depends. I don't strain it out. I normally give it as gifts. And you can put it in one of your little gift baskets, if you do gift baskets, with an explanation of how to use it, and there you go. I love getting stuff like this. As time goes on and the fragrance infuses in the oil, it will get a slight greenish tint and take up the smell, and the vinegar also. The vinegar smell is hardly even there. All you smell is that nice woodsy smell, and that's a quick little tip for Christmas in July. You need to get started early on these things. Get your jars, get all your stuff in the cabinet, get it ready. One of the biggest reasons that I made this video is to thank Mrs. Culver for the rose oil. When I was sick, she sent me a present, and I cannot wait to get it out. She did it May 25th. I'm going to let it sit a little bit longer. I've been letting it sit out on my deck in the sunshine, so we can't wait to just be covered in this, and thank you very much, dear. One lady asked a question about the frankincense. I did not come back, I don't think, I'm sorry, and show, but it's almost gone now. It smells so good. I only have a little bit of it left. It still has that nice sandalwood, really exotic. I put it on every then and again, especially on date night. Hey, cameraman. But infused oils for me have been a cheaper or more economical way of getting these things, because if you're buying the essential oils, some of them are an average from $5 to up to $100, and I'm just not going to do that. I can infuse it, that way I can put it directly on the skin, or tablespoons or teaspoons or whatever in any of the shea butter or coconut butter mixes, or even in some of the skin oils that I'm doing. But the Three Sister oil, I wanted to make sure I came back and went over that. I think that is done now, and we're going to strain that. Let me get the top off. There we go. Woo, yes. Still has kind of a toasty smell. As you remember from the video, I about burned it up. All you do is, once you're done with your infusion, you're getting all the herbs out and draining the oils out. As you can see, the oil has gone from a yellowish color or a clear yellowish color of the sunflower oil or olive oil, whichever one you want, and taken on the green color of the rosemary, the peppermint, and the sage. And you can smell all of that in there. This is something that you can use directly on the scalp, or if not, you can mix a little bit of this in whatever oil or mixtures that you're doing for your hair, and there you go. Really nice growth oil. What I'll do is let this finish doing what it needs to do, all the straining that is, because you don't want to waste any of it. And another thing I wanted to talk about, if you're doing infused oils, even though you have strained it all out, make sure you squeeze it too to get any of the essential oils that were possibly left in the dry plants. I use a lot of dry herbs for my infusions. For me, it's cheaper, it's easier for me to keep up with them, whereas with fresh things, you can't store them long term. So if I don't want to work on it that day and it's fresh, I already have the dry, I can store it for months and months and months. Whereas if this is a fresh herb out of your garden, it has to be dry before you infuse it in oil. Of course, if you're going to infuse it in vinegar, it does not have to be dry. But for me, the time constraint of worrying, is the rosemary dry? Does it have any water? I just don't have time for that most of the time. But the Three Sister oil is ready, all nice and green and beautiful. I'm going to put that in another bottle. I'll rinse this bottle out and reuse it. Also, reuse your jars. When you're done with this and you've washed it out and run it through your dishwasher or whatever, you're ready to go again. No need to throw it away. That's the good thing about glass. But I have, let's see, 3, 4, 7 more jars to go. I'm going to be making this evergreen oil, and everyone that gets this in their present, in their basket, I hope you like it. That way when I come over to your house and it's smelling so fresh, I'll say, I know what that is. But bye guys, I'll see you soon.